Inside the studio, we've been joined by Dr. Henry Musakpaka, we are the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security. And this morning, they can talk to we about implants na the ministry, especially we key amongst the big five na the feed salon agenda for talk about that as well, and agricultural development na the country generally. Good morning, Dr. Paka. Thanks for joining me.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
And I think since your appointment, this is the first time we get you in our studio, is it? So congratulations on your appointment and approval as Minister of Agriculture and Food Security.
Thank you. Very much appreciated and excited to be here this morning.
Yes. Sure.
It's quite a very important ministry you hold, considering the fact that this second term of President Bio, you don't say key on the agenda na the feed salon, and that falls directly under your ministry. What are your plans in this area? How you they gear up for actualize the feed salon project, the agenda?
Yeah, thank you for that question. Indeed, for Feed Sierra Leone, a very big responsibility and a very big task. And I'm very grateful and appreciate the fact that His Excellency the President appoint me for serving this role as one of the key people then for drive this agenda forward. Feed Salon for deliver, for feed we serve, for grow enough, for sell outside, for put the systems in place, for create the jobs, for engage with young people then, for put the systems in place so that agriculture will be the foundation for economic growth and prosperity in Sierra Leone. Not to a small task, now a task with cross-cutting. Yesterday, the President launched the Presidential Council for the delivery of Feed Sierra Leone. This is now a council we composed of other ministers, farmers, private sector, commercial banks, civil society, all because they have something to do with the delivery of Feed Salon. So yes, now the ministry and me as a minister, they lead, get the mandate for lead on the implementation of the President's vision, but there's a lot of we there for do this. So since my appointment, because the President been on the talk about this Feed Salon for say in the second term, we want to make sure say, just like how he moved the needle in education, for say agriculture and the food system, in back we go give a big push so that by the time in second term they done, we will be well on the way for say salon. Yes, we serve, we will feed, we serve. We don't stop angry with youth man and get job. And so I declare in August say na strategy month, where all the ministry staff and all we partner them and all the agencies that within the under agriculture, I bring them come. I say we need to sit down and think for actualize, put plan in place for actualize the President's vision. This be don't include for visits at the field, talk to farmer there, for engage we partner them, the private sector, the development partners that will get and donors and NGOs. Last week we get a round table where the President expressed in vision and we engage them partner for let them understand what's not the plan and for let them tell we how we will work together and make commitments towards President in plan. We don't travel overseas and try to bring other partners and people then for help for come. By God's grace, next week, Monday, they receive the Minister of Agriculture from Korea. I go visit there, then get interest for Canada. So now all here I don't do for build and develop the strategy, for get buy-in for President's vision, for get resources for President's vision as we launch. And so by God's grace, next Monday, the President will launch this Feed Salon strategy. We will lay out clearly in vision for all what you want to do for help for feed we serve, create job, build the economy, and put we on a path of resilience even in the face of climate shocks and other geopolitical shocks then.
Before we go delve deeper into your strategy, we first of all want to get a clear picture, understanding of waiting at the bottlenecks them when it comes to the agricultural sector na salon. As I say this, one thing we can remind that Emma Sinai's song waiting, but Tabom Project, they ask if the rest not the grow na Shatabandu. Like, we've heard so many things in the agricultural sector, particularly very well, not too far ago, even the Tabom Project, but we know they hear much about it again. We don't know what's happened to it. So waiting at the bottlenecks them in the agricultural sector. Let we understand those before we head into your strategy for able for actualized feed salon.
Thank you. No, I think for try to solve the problem, we need to understand them
exactly.
first. We agriculture sector, not only in salon, but generally in a very complex system where we need to put in place for make it work. So
now that complexity, the people will understand. The fact say we get 6 to 7 months of rain, we get fertile land, we get available land spaces, yet we're struggling with agricultural growth.
Yes. So may take this in two ways. Agriculture, unlike other social service sector, now really not a productive sector. What does that mean? That means if you self we deny so you get money, you want to go into agriculture, you go do one, you go grow food, and when you grow food, it will make an impact on the food and what they eat. Government in your role, and for somebody like you, if you decide to do that and for put in place then system then. So that if you, for example, say, okay, I get me money, now seed now I want, you go get seed. I get me money, I want find somebody will get machine so that they will go plow that land, you go get that service. I don't plant me crop. I want for make it be easy for my transport and for come on outside and plant and kind of free to outside people then go buy and I get good price. I want get small loan because now I want to expand my land. Because I do 5 acres now I'm making 10, so I need small loan. So the commercial banks then go play a role, but government self go play a role for make sure say yes, we extend and provide some guarantees for that. So people expectations in a government they can actually go na farm do the agriculture. I think that's the misrepresentation. Agriculture na business. Agriculture outside they don't do one well and do one sober one and for like na business. Because if you do one well, yes, we know say the challenges that you go make money. Governments we own role now for do then team them for make them possible. Say somebody will want to make money na agriculture go do them. Of course, government go need for pilot some initiatives and for idea them for let show people and say if you do this, you go work and you will get money. Of course, we need for pass them policy then way. If you say now, okay, I want to go for rest business, go make them possible say yes, you will succeed, right? So now the dance down the way people don't understand with agriculture.
But that cannot be done without a dialogue with people already in the agriculture sector for understand what are their own problems and challenges. Because now when you understand and you're able to see how you come in as a government for solve their own problems where by in turn they help solve the problems of people who also want venture into the agricultural space. So what are the biggest challenges with the agricultural sector?
The biggest challenge, the people that we want for do them. Then say they not get access to finance. Then say the infrastructure for support is weak. Then say if they want seed, they not get a predictable way in place for get seed. Then say the market, because sometimes for year on years, every once in a while somebody go down growing crop, then government can supply rest, for example. They go spoil business by them. Or they don't buy fertilizer, they want to start this, right? So they say then policy incoherence, then say we not get the right policy for support big scale private sector for camp. So these are some of the issues that we want for tackle na the agriculture sector, because the president very clear, governments get for doing your own part. But the money where government gets, the money where development partner then gets, you put down it all together, not get for really do or achieve the ambitious agenda we don't set. We get for need the private sector. Not only big one or small one, if we wait in Africa to get a job, don't save some money, one for go do 10, 20, 15 acres, we do that and most of we do that and we go see the number they move. But we go make a difference.
But also with that, you get people with the ideas, and some of them very bright ideas where can significantly contribute towards the success of feed salon agenda. But one thing they lack is the capital, the finances for able for start up the agricultural venture. How does the government come in under the feed salon project?
So my second week on the job, I get a meeting with all the commercial banks heads precisely with this. I say, we get an opportunity. The president now invites all man for engage or in agriculture for transform the sector. And then tell me, Frank, say that we don't understand this industry very well, because for them, the terms of loans where they lend, na short term, quick, and the guarantee. Possibly they buy and sell, gain something. But agriculture now, if you say they give farmer the money, we get what they call correlated risk. Meaning, if the farmer they all on this side, parts of the country, if rain can't spoil all the crop, all man they suffer. So they not get way for hedge. So we don't start that conversation there. But this presidential council where the president said, we get the head, the representative, the chairman for Association of Commercial Banks. He go and listen the president in call. He knows a then self get role for play. If we want to do this well, and the private sector now really get for finance, then people will always say and get the know-how and get the idea. And the idea for good so that somebody sitting at a bank will say, if you do this, you go make money, we self go make money. Government in your role for daily for backstop for maybe provide guarantee scheme. And the Minister of Finance, now the budget hearing and the roundtable hole, don't already make that commitment there. So now some of the NTA will get for to do for make sure say if you get good idea, bright idea, you will get money for the one.
But the money now one, is there any conversation about probably the reduction of the interest on the loan specifically for agriculture, because that in itself can serve as an incentive for say where one account for loan once now for agriculture under feed salon, una not go pay the normal interest rate as you know other people where they take loan.
You make a very excellent point. In fact, the conversation what I get with the Association of Commercial Banks there, all of them, now that not only for providing money, just like how you don't talk but for make sure say the interest rates back na single digits. Not only that, also for say the time we will take for let people then pay back, it will be different because agriculture now, if you they grow rest for let you get money, at least na 3 months. If na cashew, na 3 years. If na pineapple, na 2 years. If na tractor, you don't take either for do boku business or so. So all under the terms, the rate, all under we talk bottom. And in fact, we don't try this. About 2 years ago, the government put up through the Agriculture Policy Shift Program under His Excellency's the enforced term, $10 million, 7% interest rate now have been charged. At the time, interest rate have been 25 or so percent. People then wait for import seeds and fertilizer out of the country. Then take the loan in dollars. 15 months later, they pay in leones. 15 months later, what thing can happen? We begin to see this massive devaluation of the currency, which means that we de-risk the investment. Now then kind of the same kind we want to do at a bigger, a better scale for involve other value chain them.
Okay, you get a vast experience into the agriculture sector because you also really advise the Minister of Agriculture. And, you know, the area of collaboration very important into achieving the feed salon project. Recently as possible, we see the government on the side for puts 10% into the agriculture sector where that is seems to be very big in helping the sector. But how we forget a proper collaboration with always your light, say, then concerns and the way then people and the way you engage. Talk about one, finance, two, and accessibility. All the one and they need collaboration with other agencies them in order to get things right. But with now some of them measures that they put in place and get proper collaboration now with government commitment of 10% into the agriculture sector, the feed salon project, even the presidents don't make commitment. You know, when, you know, ministers, you know, they take oaths in the State House and say, they want to ensure, say, the feed salon project be successful and not only before 2028, but before 2026, 2027, as part of in legacy. Our collaboration cable for support the president's vision.
Collaboration are a big key for achieve the feed salon objectives. Collaboration so that we get coherence, what they call coherence in policy. What does that mean? That means say, if the Minister of Agriculture say, will they promote this crop, this other crop, and in one incentive for private sector, let them go there. It means say Minister of Finance now can say, will they tax then crop then they. So we all go need for sit down at table for do that. It means say if the Minister of Agriculture or get production zones that we don't identify. Say yanda, now I will get for focus with production. But we get road what we need for make for commodity kind of market. It means say if a choice day about USAID SLRA and USAID Ministry of Works will pass through, now then they go prioritize. Same with energy. So for enhance that collaboration, and I make yesterday the president constitutes this presidential council and it wants to meet regularly, so that then same issue then we all go there on the table and solve them. Because you're right, agriculture problem not to inside agriculture no more. The way it comes to finance, way it comes to infrastructure, way it comes to even the human capital, they know how. Therefore, need all them people here to now make at the table at this council. We go for the sit down and elevate the issue here so that we will solve them.
The area of climate change also is key in following succeeding to the agricultural sector, and that is seem for the affect we greatly. And I remember there's this guy Jamje or so, gets a very big agriculture project, and some of the things that we highlight sometimes back where we get conversation with them, and they say the challenge is so great that even facility, even finance also not challenge them we seem for the affect the agriculture sector. But are we able to ensure we prioritize some of the activities, and more especially into the agriculture sector in terms of taxation and in terms of see how able for harmonize some of the things and enable for GI and some opportunities to people who want for going to the investment of the agriculture sector?
Yes. So we get for tackle lending in there. Policy therefore be a big part of how we feel we will succeed. So as government, we get policy, we get funds, budget, and then we get His Excellency invoice and the advocacy. We go a long way for buy with goodwill and bring more resources. On the policy front, now then incentive then they will want for create. So we're in conversation with the Ministry of Finance now, then they do the new Budget Act. In the new Budget Act, then they make sure say anybody who want to invest in agriculture, if you want to bring machinery, if you want to bring can set up business, then they give tax holidays for make sure say this announcement where the president makes it, they create the incentive that indeed it did. The other parts back where people can struggle, now land business. Most times lands then can they where people then they use them, but where somebody can invest or cannot put something there, they don't begin to see the benefits. Then the community people then go on now, let themselves get something there. We go make them possible, say, yes, then can arrangement and they will go get them and then go work for the community and for investor them. So the policy for enable that they will go for pass all landed and they.
Let's look at your plans, for the agriculture sector, and because that is very important, and the government is safe one for tackle the economy, we have to pay attention into the agriculture sector, and also the job creation. What the president talk about, the 500,000. Obviously, the agriculture sector therefore provide, create, whether it's 50 or 40% of that job creation for the country. How you plan for ensure we're able to get then things in the right and able to meet the demands and able for help the economy. As we talk, we still get chances into the mining sector, but also the agriculture seem for the move across the globe, and then the world seem for the pay attention into the agriculture sector.
Well, His Excellency, in wisdom, decides say indeed agriculture with a focus on them and use them as the foundation for build sustainable economic growth that this country. Not for nothing they do that. We don't see other countries and they block or put taxes for their sell rest or other chop them to we. Where COVID come, they make blockade. All man they face say chop not for rich way. All land they tell we say now a warning sign. You mentioned climate change just now. Now a warning sign say we not for take it here for granted. Them blessings then Yahweh Sierra Leone endowed with, which by the way we endow with plenty for able to feed ourselves and even sell. We not for take that them for granted, and so we for do all where we can for make sure say we will feed ourselves. So we plan. We don't put a very intentional. Then major problem in it. We know say we the import plenty in them, and we're very specific. Rest now why would the import boku? We go for make sure say we reduce down the onions. Your best business crisis became not too long ago as I take office. We able grow your best in this country. I go lunge, I go see, or say indeed we able. So we will focus on that. Chicken. I find out say the past 3 years, $60 million worth of frozen chicken now imported in this country. Eggs. I find out say that about $13 million. Why talk to the people that way they put that business and tell me say the major issue now the feed. What's in a feed for chicken? Now corn, and maybe soy and some other thing there. We able to do that in there. So we program, they tackle for try for make then challenge for make sure say we reduce we import on that. Agriculture you don't mention that's alone. Now they make up 57% of the GDP. But where would the exports? Not only a small percent. We program, get for tackle down the back. We make sure say we focus on then crop here what so cocoa, cashew, oil palm. We try to boost them productivity for make sure say we get more from we export. You mentioned jobs. Yes, indeed, jobs that are main objective for our program. 500,000 jobs in 5 years. Agriculture will able to provide beaucoup of them jobs, them both formal and informal. That they get for be a main focus of the work we want to do. I think the youth them we try youth farming, where we just tell you they want to grow rest. This time around, we get for go and then community then ask the youth them what's una want for do. We help them develop good business plan. We link them with credit funding facilities and then do them. By so doing, then go create job for themselves. And not to forgo na bush no more na the way means say na the work na the agriculture sector. The value chain boku. If you want to develop tech for link farmer then to market, if you want to do logistics, you know, if you want to send weather information, boku thing way you go do as a young man for get job and support the agriculture sector. Then they back there. Hunger and malnutrition now another big focus of the strategy. We know, say, the BFP, every year, then they put reports out. Right now, then say 1.2 million people then are acutely food insecure. We need to address that. Malnutrition among children, now schools, now a major issue. We get to promote micronutrient rich crops then, like orange flesh, sweet potato, for address their need among school children. Finally, climate change, a major issue. We plan to make sure, say, we adapt to the effects of climate change so that farmer then will succeed. But also, waiting we do not go aggravate climate change. And then if you're not a farmer, you don't work hard, you don't really put your effort. And then for some reason rain will come or too much rain come and then it destroy crops. But so we'll put a scheme, maybe an insurance scheme, so that we will buffer and shield you from the effects. So now then thing here we want to put in place. We believe if we put them here in place at scale, we will create the job, we will bolster the economy, and we will be well on our way for Feed Salon and others.
The worrisome part about as we the one for put in place is we find we self as a people in a situation where we start one conversation. For eons of years, we still stuck on that conversation and we still on planning stage, not moving to execution. Where you say we want for, what's the time frame for make them plans here become a reality where, you know, the agricultural sector blossom?
Well, the planning phase for this Feed Salon, by God power, the first, now could not take plenty time for do boku study, because we all know, yourself know some of the challenges that are. We don't spend from August now till we launch the strategy this next Monday. We'll launch, we get for begin put things in place. With the then policy then what it's about, we pass then a cabinet and we follow through with the implementation. Then till what it's about, we get for do them. We actually get for do them. And we not for be we're not for be intimidated by the fact say we don't try this before and we don't see success yet. Let we try them again. So when that idea they need a good, we just need doggedness. We just need for agree say this one. Now the last chance this will be again. We all. And now we all forget we all. If we do that, I believe say we will make a difference.
You know, somebody will say the Minister of Agriculture gets a very big work for do, because you remember the president in first time we asked all ministers then for ensure they have plants in the backyard. But how that's done the work, because you know that is about the collaboration and we're very important into ministry. But are we the first people where they make policy for be the example, you know, and get things for done, and we're able for complement the presidency efforts in getting things done. You know, how that seems for the work as well.
I think the president in call to we all, and especially leaders in the space, will lead by example. Now a very good one, and we all for the one. I think plenty ministers and plenty people in our whole government office farm. Myself plant rest last year. I did do something again this year. But law not just look to we the leader there. I think we would definitely lead by example, and I ain't go encourage all man for make sure. But this is not a call for we all. I think then country, if you go now, then Southern African country, the only way they do well in agriculture, waiting they happen then why are we in a city where they get money, where they get cash, the middle income as they can call them. Now then they go back to them village, then buy land, do farming. They are 15 them. Because now they want for take retire, that they don't want for to get half lily and nothing. We safe for they do that. They don't look the village, the farming system say that now for them, not for we. Unless we do that, they we safe. It get for heart for make we achieve this goal. So we'll get for launch. President Bio get for put out a clarion call. So we'll share the video tonight where they call on all man, we all will engage in this farming.
Monitoring now, key aspects in achieving this. I remember the Tabom Project, government pour huge money, just as recent as possible, but government not will achieve exactly and what's not be the vision for that particular place. All it because of the area of monitoring. But how, you ensure you monitor government project, more especially the flagship program of the president, now Feed Salon. And that is very key in achieving, supporting the economy and supporting development and Sierra Leone. How you work around that area? Not only putting the policy, but also monitor the policy and ensure, say, if government don't pour huge money like the Tabom Project for be succeed, and at the end we not get undone, but how we for reach and see how we can able for do a monitoring area as well.
Yes, monitoring get for be a big part of how we get for succeed, because I think when you think about monitoring, now because you're facing a government they can't do or do no projects and they can't actually make the difference. We done they get for day. But then they get for and we get for do all we can. But don't forget say the private sector we profits driven, we get a motive for profits. Now then self get for drive a lot of this big time. So we get for prime, right? We get for prime the system for let that they happen. So for the pathway in a development partner project and government project, we get for monitor. One way we'll get for create cluster them for say for rest. They choose maybe 4 or 5 clusters. So you don't mention Tabom now. Tabom actually still remain very important to what they do. Starting next year, by God in power, we put irrigation systems, maybe up to 5,000 hectares of irrigation. We will allow we for cultivate multiple times a year. Mambolo, Samu, also very important to we. Then say get rich area. Bonda Pina Pujon, also very important to we. A whole access day for common mine like 20 that and we get Boku Bolilan, we say very important to we, especially when we can to rest. So we get for identify the area and concentrate with effort there. So it go easy for low monitor. It go easy for low no say if we don't put a machine in there, we go can't watch. If we say in a 5,000 hectare we don't do, we can't watch. What will be done? We don't scatter all things all side. So it has for let you really make sure say you go see what's in happen. But if we decide say 4 or 5 side and they would concentrate with effort. It's easy for that go and see all inside and there. The president don't decide say one himself it's possible for the whole cabinet and then farm them there. But let insect see what's in the happen. And then they tell we yesterday we launched the presidential council. So monitoring get for be a key part of what we get for do and how we get for succeed. Especially parts by the program we involve government and donor funded projects.
Well, part of that monitoring, the public as well go on for monitor right now. Waiting at the status update of Tabom Project.
Tabom Project still very active. I just don't tell you say. By the way, the misconception of the Tabom Project now because when we say it can produce rest quickly at that time. The plan had been for put the irrigation system in place. When we put the irrigation system in place and control water movement, then we'll be able to cultivate really the way we put it in the talk. As at the talk, if you don't watch the newspaper, we don't put a bid out for up to 2,000 or more hectares for irrigation for start early next year. We're going to put another one out so that combined we'll get about 4,000 just for the Tabom. We get another project where the African Development Bank they support for another 5,000 between Tabom and Bondapi. That's the big deal. And that have been the big efforts, and that have been the big push we want to make that Tabom. As we do that, we don't put some infrastructure in there so that when we finally produce, rest go day for place go day for store, and begin to engage the people them. But that misunderstanding be done. They say, Tabom we'll go to rest, they can come on one thing. But the idea has been for really putting this irrigation system where we don't put the beats out. People they look for good people then now. We could do that work there so that we make sure say come mid next year we say it done, we get a plan with the produce rest and people in the see them.
So we're still on the discussion on irrigation. Since Tabom, we still they do irrigation. It's kind of like somehow not clear. Irrigation, when they launched Tabom to now, because you say the plan was for put the irrigation in place, but you don't say back they don't launch a bid early next year. So we're doing the same thing for how many years?
No, it's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. Them projects here, then donor funded projects here, get a work plan, get a disbursements plan and a procurement plan. For the past 2 years, they don't follow that plan. Yes, maybe they don't fall behind in 1 or 2 areas, but now the part O they on the project. Now one within the contract people then for go actually build this irrigation facility.
Is it because they're not being ever build the irrigation facility at all?
No.
Because if they're not bill, why would they bill them back?
No. It's because they're not billing yet. Not to say they're not be ever biller. It's still there inside the program. This one where you talk about this project where they talk for Tabom. The plan has been for build this irrigation facility. Now, be done come off for actually firm people for let them build that irrigation.
So now
so
that's
then they build the irrigation.
Understand. So they're not be non-bill it. Now then they can bill.
Inside the program where you talk about waiting them be launch. Inside the work plan. Now then they can bill. Yes.
So from when they launched Tabom, it been just the launching no more, the building, and now then they build the irrigation.
I tell you, say, thing and they inside the work plan for do. Then be done, first of all,
so
hire
what's
machine.
been the work where they go on the Tabom project all this while?
All this while, they don't invest or get the right varieties and when's the irrigation happen. We get and see them they don't build other infrastructure, dryers, millers, they don't come where they go put in place so that we rest begin come out or go use them. They don't actually also use machine services for plow. Last year, I think they cultivate maybe up to 1,000 hectares of rest. So all land they happen. But this not donor funded project. For better or for worse, now so they can design anything here. We get procurement plan, we get a work plan where the project will follow through.
So according to the plan, who still they begin eat the rest?
Who still they begin eat the rest? You were able
because for majority of people that procedure, the process, not so important to the finished product.
Yeah,
so according to the plan, who still would they begin eating
by next year, by God. Well, Tabom they produce rest now. It's just not they produce at the level and we want. Now make we
but
want
that again is the other thing. Like when we launch them projects here, there's huge, coverage on the news say we don't launch this. But no matter how little the quantity of the product of that project they be, you wonder again why you not get the mass coverage as well. Let people know say, like now one bag rest come up and but let the people know back say, okay, now one bag rest don't come up and Tabom this month.
Well, that's a good point, and this is a good segue actually, because the Tabom project don't actually. If in the media some time ago, they actually make rest and put on Tabom rice. Partly the media their fault, and we say where they do this work, we will not publicize them. Because the work they happen. When they do the launchy right, we do a big fanfare, we can go President Day, it launch and people then see them. Then after, all it will do now in the background, people in the area. So going forward, part of we own plan now for the talk more about what they do, show more of what they do, so that people then go know how and what to do. I think if the Tabom project will be done, they engage and they say, this is not step 1, this is not step 2, and we dip on step 3 and step 4, you go understand, say, yes, indeed, now they do the irrigation, because that they part of the plan. And we delay they fine, people don't understand. But now because they're not communicate, make we not know that. So your point is very correct that yes, we they do the incident, we know they communicate, and so we get an issue. Obviously, Tabom nothing not they happen there. I be just go there. Rest they grow there. We then get 2 or 3 companies where they actually don't grow rest, then harvest, they don't put another one. I was just there, I see with me, I go Bambolo Samu. Green space, rest the green, they harvest. That's where I go. Not too long, and they don't begin plants back. So we then see how they happen. I think part of that the way they happen, I make give President Bill the zeal and say, you know what, we're able to do this. we don't try something the way they work, and we'll go able to do one, and we will try harder again this time.
The idea of prioritizing, you know, and whether, and I know you mentioned few of goods same way, Salon they pour a lot of cash into it for imports in Canada country. You talk about rice, you talk about onions, even chicken. These are things, eggs as well, where people use in a daily basis and then very vital in we day-to-day life. Salomon, you wake in the morning or in the afternoon and you're ready for sleep. If you know it's rest, if things you know it's nothing, you know. But are we for prioritize despite the vision of the president is fit Sierra Leone, but also how for prioritize certain food stuff them we for pay attention into rather than we make you know, we scatter them. Say one for going to pineapple, one for going to cashew, one for going to this, but also get policy we want to pay attention into for able to achieve, you know, the Feed Salon project.
No, I think prioritization are a good point and something we're very deliberate about and we plan. The entire way you don't mention, Baku crop the salon they grow, but you don't just call some because we feel then they want first of all easy for do and for win and with the fet hard we call them low hanging fruit. So especially the yabas. The poultry, the eggs and chicken. I think we would do very hard. We will work very hard for reduce the importation of that. The other plan that we're not going to do all thing all side. Outside there we will not say una na rest na sabidu now una want for do now una able for do na that we go for do there. Outside when a cash crop, when a oil palm or coffee or cocoa now una do na they will do that. When a horticulture, right? And part of the plan not going to cover all thing. So they way advance, we private sector don't do plenty. We then they drive already. Government will go say with the poor money there. We not get money for do all thing. So part of USA we don't highlight. Even parent side and they will don't highlight. Not to every aspect na the value chain will go for. We prioritize the place we get the most binding constraints for removal so that other people will prime the space, other people will come. So prioritization are a big part and we do them in multiple levels, geographically, across the value chain, the particular intervention, all of that, they're part of the program.
Okay, you know, there are so many comments, you know, Phoebe.
Yeah, on the Facebook page.
And people really get interested in the conversation because the Feed Salon, the president in vision, we see how the president in first 5-year pay key attention into the education sector with 22% of the country budget. And now we don't see, you know, and there are increments into, I think it was 7% or so of government budget into the agriculture sector. But the president, I think it was the Maputo agreement, you know, that, you know, for increase, you know, more allocation into the agriculture sector. And we see that they don't, you know, they go almost to a success, you know, a 10% of it a total now. So it's very key, you know, into it, you know, into the sector.
Belgium Banks Senior says, since 1906, we're still buying agricultural machinery, but no production of the agricultural products. We always get professor in the Ministry of Agriculture, no result. May God help we, amen. Idris Abundu say, government think about making land available to those who want to go into farming, not only capital. That's a question there.
And us friend Kabai says, Tabom has 55,000 hectares of arable and land, but only about 400 hectares being cultivated. Any plans to expand this to meet with the consumption ratio of Sierra Leone?
Junior Tokoa says, if all the policies are going to stay on tables of the directors in the Agriculture Ministry, then I'm afraid we will not move forward in this generation. Please let the president follow every angle that they sponsor.
And Molai Wubebai Kamai says, I wonder how the government will achieve the Feed Sierra Leone project if they cannot account for billions of loans spent on onions.
Anthony Kamara say, where is Tomabom? I am really sorry, but I don't trust any of these. It's all a prank. Trust me, brothers and sisters.
And a very long comment from Mohamed El Jallo. He says, access to finance in every sector is very important, and agriculture is no exception. The government can work with private sector like the importers of rice by taking a certain percentage, maybe 20% or 40% of their importation capital, and give it to rice farmers on an interest-free loan basis, and the farmers can repay these monies back, buying, selling the rice product to these same importers at reduced price for resale at local market. This way you can improve the availability of rice in the local market and also reduce importation of foreign rice. Another point will be to allow farmers import their necessary equipment, fertilizers, seeds, animal feeds, and animal foods, etc. On the free import duty basis, so as to reduce the amount farmers spend on importing these items. And that is from Mohamed El Jallo.
Solomon Bonus says, are there plans to add agriculture as a core subject to the school curriculum in Sierra Leone in fulfillment of the President's agenda in food sufficiency in Sierra Leone? Go
ahead.
Africa Blackman says, youth then go sell the seeds and tractor go temple run.
The idea of digitalization, the data for the beneficiaries of the fertilizers voucher scheme can help with accountability and transparency of the fertilizer scheme. This will help to identify those who actually utilize the fertilizers in their farms rather than those who smuggle it to sell. And also, how is the distribution of the 500 metric tons of fertilizer received as a gift from Morocco? Thanks. It's from Osfin Kamara.
Anthony Kamari replied to Africa, I say that was exactly what happened during the past 5 years. They sold and shared all the seeds and machines down to fertilizers. And
Amidou Jallo say the only way the feed salon go work, all ministers and MPs for embark in agriculture compulsory, government for enforce the law.
Okay, from my end, I think I'll just limit the messages to those. Yes, we'll get to your response. Or you want to add more?
Yes, I think finally, because of time, Johnson M. Lansana Jr. says, presenters, can you please help me ask the minister if they have collected a data of how many bags of rice or other staple food the people of Sierra Leone eat every day, because you cannot talk about feeding a whole nation without knowing the amount of food people eat for a day. So it's this data, it can help the ministry to know how many metric tons and hectare of land, you know, that can provide this. We are not to go into a blind feeding of the nation without no head and tail. That is from Johnson M. Lansana Jr. Yes.
Well, first of all, Famodem, I want to tell Apprentice thank you for the interest in the conversation. We encourage this, and I go kind of regularly for the getting feedback here. I think not only then we will get for able for really do the thing that we will need for do for succeed. The deliberateness for be thorough, for understand the system then, both theoretical and practical level. Me not possibly go na field, me not possibly talk to farmer there, me not possibly sabi back the theory, me not an economist, me not a professor. Me not possibly also very dogged. And that doggedness I bring to this job. Let's just take one example why I don't come. The fertilizer issue. We'll just begin to demonstrate some doggedness in how we want for change. Year on, year in, year out, we don't give fertilizer at the ministry. People, when they actually apply, when they apply and they put the picture And they say that they farm this and that this and they do. But we'll not get any database for make sure says and no saying that then why I don't apply, that then why I get, that then farm then this, now this then they do, and follow go check. So when we come in this transition period, the fertilizer from Morocco, where this person mentioned, they don't come last year. In this transition period, because there was pressure for the harvest term not reach, cultivation term not reach, whatever then begin for distribute this. Come and meet the system not be there in place. I stop all that. I talk say we not give you one more fertilizer until we get a digital record of everybody we don't apply. And for tell with their name, their phone number, their NIN or their voter ID, the crop whether they cultivate, the area of land, and waiting they not ask for. I say we need to get down there from every district and let the district agricultural officer then collect that information there. It take me 4 weeks, 3 weeks for get that information. But I say fertilizer now they go, the pressure bokuna, so the pressure the mount, so then they send picture the able. Now you look we rest, it don't yellow, it don't this, it don't that. I say no. Now the opportunity this follow do this. Make sure say we get all that list, that digital record. We get some from every children, everybody apply. Now we know who that apply, their phone number, who that then give and who that they not get. So that also, we get audit trail now. Get people their phone number. Yeah, they say that they chief them this. They say that this and they grow. I don't even begin give this to some of them local council and then the minister of local government asked me. I say, look, when I go help people then make sure say with the fertilizer they come. Indeed, then people here get them. So now some of them things are where the opportunity they arise, where me don't come, or they try for put in place. And by the way, we get for digitize that record the next year. So that way they come for apply. Sometimes by God in power, we work very hard. We get an app where people then they register from their own community and say, you know, indeed farmer then verify you. We get that system there in place. So yes, the challenge is then Boku. Somebody mentioned the audit report for onions. I don't read that report there. The study the recommendation and they, and we make sure say we follow their recommendation and they, as we implement, we program them. Tabom, we get large sorts of land. We get for expand them. And I get for do so. But like I say, not to Tabom no more. But who say they then can them Kailan Kono get them IVS and way. If we do that, they no more and control the water, we go grow plenty rest, right? Policy they not get for day on the table. The first cabinet will get now. We know pass policy no more now. Na cabinet we get for get implementation plan, and you come report on what you don't do on that policy where you don't pass na cabinet. I like that plan very much. I get for Fala. That they will get for do. And one of the key things that we can observe now, yes, people can come for sign quick, and many for investor for let them do, but like, people that can sit down panel. I don't tell all me directors and say, they sit down for paper. If this is very important and not to the country where they sell, not to any of that, let the person sign the paper, let go, and business you want to bring. If we install thing, we install business where they come. Right? So now some of them small thing here, if you say if we do them, we will succeed. And indeed, this journey will don't start. Mindset change, get for the panel. So this person's suggestion for get agriculture as a core subject. Now one way they talk with both the minister and basic and higher education, but make sure say we deal with that under them. So I'm not going to talk about all the question, but I really glad people they engage and people they give them feedback here. And somebody mentioned data. Let's talk about that. We get plenty of data in agriculture, some they're right, some they're wrong. I mean, at the first person we go to map talk, say, we ask 5 people there, what's not the yellow they get per rest, we not really sabi. We go for fix that, by the way. But we know, say, yes, the yield and load, and there's a range we'll get. So part of my effort now, this first year, we'll go for get baseline on all lengths, then they for help with. And yes, we know how much rice we they eat. I think Sierra Leone will say they eat 131 kg of rice per person per year. So if you do that, and you know, say, you know, with the population growth, we eat close to 1 million metric tons of rice, right? So we don't do all, and we know how much rice we they import that data they day. So all under the guide we and don't guide we as we design. So again, I want to tell you plenty thank you, and I want to convey the president in message to owner. It's alone now we all own. Therefore, take we all for make them possible. not to one person, you know, but an imperative. Now, I think with this generation, I don't know if you want to listen to it. It say it want follow a food sovereignty day, not to Independence Day, no more April they celebrate, but one that day they come. And me as minister, have to work very hard. The little we may able to do for bring people on the table, for make sure say we'll put plans in place for the follow it happen. Me go do one. And una self at the big una for doing a yon.
You don't have pressure?
No, I don't feel. I don't. No, I get because the most exciting job.
You know how Dr. David Moyna Senge, the chief minister, when he be there as education basic minister, I be under pressure for achieve the president's vision.
When you know the minister, where they carry the president in flagship, by definition, pressure day, because the president in flagship, people that will see are in good light all the time, by definition. But I enjoy the work. Now work what I relish in, because now a big task. Now task way I feel say suits me nature of being dogged, of focus, and determination and passion. And I tell God thank you so far.
All right.
Well, plenty thank you. At this point, we don't come to the end of the conversation here. Thanks to Dr. Hene Musakwaka, Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, for your time this morning for Talk to We. Plenty thank you to all we guests them and all our viewers and the listeners then for our time.